Love you.
I release. I release myself to the mastermind because I am strong when I have others to help me. I believe. I believe the combined intelligence of the mastermind creates a wisdom far beyond my own. I understand. I understand that I will more easily create positive results in my life when I am open to looking at myself, my problems, and opportunities from another's point of view. I decide. I decide to release my desire totally in trust to the mastermind, and I am open to accepting new possibilities. I forgive. I forgive myself for mistakes I have made. I also forgive others who have hurt me in the past, so I can move into the future with a clean slate. I ask. I ask the mastermind to hear what I really want, my goals, my dreams, and my desires. And I hear my mastermind partners supporting me in my fulfillment. I accept. I know, relax, and accept, believing that the working power of the mastermind will respond to my every need. I am grateful, knowing this is so. Hello, this is Kaylin Huntress, and I'm here with the Weekly Accountability Mastermind, trying out some new tech to see how this works if we facilitate a weekly mastermind here on YouTube. I've got 3 sections. We've got wins, where we review the wins from last week, challenges, where we talk about the challenges that we faced this week, and commitments. What are the commitments that we're going to do this week? And anybody who attends 2 weeks in a row gets a check-in, gets some accountability. Did you do what you said you were going to do? And so we're going to start with wins. And for those of you who are watching live, go ahead and add into the chat box your wins. I'm going to set a timer here for 3 minutes, and let's all share what our wins were this week. What were your wins this week? Take 3 minutes and just write your wins in the chat box. Take one more minute. What were your wins? Anything else you want to celebrate? All right, Eric, I think it might just be you and me today. Too bad Jonathan couldn't make it. Thanks for the update that he's got a meeting. Gosh, he's going through a lot. Hoping he's doing well. All right. So Jonathan, you had some incredible wins. You began the work on your LinkedIn upgrade. Well done. The above the fold copy for the website. That's great. And 40% of your new lead magnet done. And a new article for Medium. Those are great wins, man. That's huge. Congratulations. I had some wins. I did Qigong in the sunshine, and that did a lot of healing. Helped me make it through about a chronic fatigue. The last 2 weeks, I've been really slowing down, not operating at my normal speed. So being able to get through that and do this Qigong in the sunshine was a big help. And then I made a new landing page with a new landing page builder. And I always like learning new tools, and this one was a builder I hadn't used before. So that was a lot of fun. Awesome. I'm glad that you found some value from those book strategy sessions. That's great. That's great. All right. Well, now that we've talked about our wins and what went right this week, now let's talk about our challenges. What could have gone better? Let's take 3 minutes and talk about those challenges here in the chat box. What were your challenges? What could have gone better? Right, let's go ahead and wrap up our challenges. Realizing something. I need a music cue that goes for a full 3 minutes because it's not timing well. This is part of the reason why I'm doing this live stream mastermind, is to kind of like find out where are the rough edges so I can polish those off. And that's one of the new projects that's distracting me. One of my challenges is that I get distracted by things like this, and I'm doing too many of these new projects at the same time. Eric, priorities. Figuring out what's the right thing to do. Yeah, man, that's an ongoing challenge. I have some ideas on. I'll share with you some systems that I use for interrogating priorities and making sure that you're doing the right one. Managing distractions, always a challenge. How do you stay focused when something demands your attention? And getting your days organized and orchestrated. I like that. Orchestrate is a good verb for that. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in an interview link here in the chat box so that you can come in and we can do like an interview here because it's just the two of us today. And but first, I want to share, while that's loading up and you're getting in there, I want to share a couple more of my challenges. I've been getting low registration to events. I've got not just this event, I've also got a live masterclass later this week that I'm teaching, and I haven't been promoting very much because I've been tired and I've been ill. And I realize that hustling to get registration isn't what I want to spend my time doing. And so that's why I'm grateful to this challenge because like with this mastermind, I did some email newsletter sends, I did social media posts for the first one. And then after that, I was like, let's just see. Because I gave everybody a recurring calendar invitation. So there was like, I don't know, a dozen people who attended the first one. And I said, here, put this on your calendar so it'll show up and give you a reminder. And then I kind of wanted to test it and see, all right, does anybody show up when I do that? Or do I need to keep hustling and keep telling people, hey, show up to my thing, show up to my thing? And that really gets me down. I'm realizing now that what I like doing is setting up the infrastructure and showing up. But the constant promotion, that's something I want to do less of. And so I appreciate challenges because challenges make me examine what's working and what's not working. What do I like and what do I dislike? And my big challenge, of course, is fatigue, ongoing, but that's the condition that I live with. So hopefully it won't be a forever kind of condition. I'm trying to work through it now, and with some nutrition and healing, hopefully I'll get my way out of it. So after challenges, we talk about commitments. And let's do a quick review of commitments before I bring you on, Eric. I see you in the green room. I appreciate you playing with this tech with me because now I can see you in the green room, and I'll bring you in just a minute. But first, I want to go through our commitments. And I want to review the commitments from last week. Last week, your commitments... No, you know what? We'll do this. We'll do this live. Let's do this together. I'm going to go ahead and pull you in from the green room, and let's see how this works. Boom. Well, hello, Eric. How you going?
Hello, Kaylin. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Hang on, let me pull my thing up so I can see both of you. Well, I don't really want to see me. I want to see you. On Zoom, Jonathan told me a trick. I pull up my my note thing above my picture on Zoom. I'm on my feed, so I can only look at the person I'm talking to.
Nice.
It's
you just cover it with a sticky
really
note.
Useful.
Yeah,
sticky note, exactly. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm sorry. Did you ask me a question and I was talking over you? I think you did.
No, I didn't. I just said welcome. Thanks for coming.
Great. Good to be here.
Yeah. So let's review our commitments from last week.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because this is a pattern that I've noticed, and one of the things I realized as you were talking last week is I need to really dive into LinkedIn. I've been not spending a lot of time, but Facebook just isn't my jam. I mean, it is for certain things, but not for the people that I want to work with. They're not going to find me on Facebook necessarily.
Yeah, right.
So LinkedIn's been in the back of the, and I just have not done it. So I started literally. I got off the phone with you guys last week, and I went right into my profile and did some work on the profile. I have a book called Maximum Success with LinkedIn, which I pulled off the shelf.
Nice.
And just started going. Anyway, what I realized is, okay, this is going to happen. My website, my lead magnet, I'm changing my lead magnet. I really want to get that, because if they're going to go to my website, I want them to get there and go, holy crap, I've missed this. I need this. So it's like if you give a mouse a cookie, right?
Right.
and,
Right.
and you give a mouse a cookie, then they're going to want a glass of milk. So um, I dived into the website stuff. I'm still working on the LinkedIn, but in the background. And I realized, okay, I knocked out a whole bunch of website stuff, the above the fold copy, the a good portion of the lead magnet content, the landing pages. I still have some work to do, but that was all not on my radar last week. But it came up because wait a second, if I'm going to put this time into LinkedIn, I want these people to go to a really good place. I can knock this out probably in a week or a week and a half or less. The website stuff,
Great. That's
which
exciting.
I'm on schedule to do. Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations, Eric. That's huge. Yeah.
And you said, by the way, I want to make sure you get, I know you remember, but you said last week, interrogate your priorities. And I
Hmm.
wrote that down
Great.
and I love that. So I'm just giving it back to you. But each time I sat down and thought, okay, well, I'm going to do this, but then there's this distraction or that distraction. I said, no, wait a second. I've got to get the effing website. I got to get this copy done. I have somebody who's helping me, but without I mean, she's not writing the copy for me. I've got to write the copy.
Yeah.
I've got to at least create something to edit, right?
Yeah. Right.
As
Right.
Stephen King says, you can't edit a blank page.
That's true.
So,
Yep. You got to have
excuse
something
me one
down.
second.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
getting something down for you to work with. I mean, that's such a huge step. And we often don't know what it is that we need to produce until we start digging into the project and getting our fingers into it. And then you realize, "Oh, I need this over here and that over there." And the project begins to reveal itself to you. So,
yeah.
well done on actually getting in and doing it. That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then the other thing which has been on my radar was to write this, at least draft this article. And you also mentioned, Medium as a place. And I thought, okay, I've been dancing around Medium now for a long time. So
Hmm.
I went online and I copied out the best practices on some website someplace, Medium best practices, whatever. And I drafted this article on the power of threes, which uh, one of the people, like, we call coach each other, and she's been on me to write about this because I talk about it when I'm coaching. And she goes, Eric, you got to write this. You got to write this down. So I started that, and it feels so great. It needs a lot of editing. However, I've got something to edit. You
Yep.
know, and
Yeah,
and you're
Medium is a great place to do the composition and editing because their tool is so user friendly and it's made for the writing. And so you don't have to also figure out how to post it and how to tag it and all that mechanical stuff. You can actually just reside in composition so that you're
oh, I
focusing on
didn't know
writing.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm just writing on. Oh wow. Okay. I'll follow that. I stopped myself from going down the rabbit holes of all this stuff that wasn't a priority. The priority was writing words on the paper, and so I
Nice.
did that.
Yeah, well, whatever program
Um,
works well for you. If that's
yeah.
Microsoft Word or if that's a notepad or whatever, the place where you can focus the most on writing is the best. But for what it's worth, I often use Medium as the place where I compose
I
because it's
I'm
distraction free and super easy to use.
I'm going to check that out. I didn't know that
Great,
was available. Perfect.
great. So tell me
Uh,
about your commitments from last week. Last week, your commitments were to finish the book planning with new insights, talk to a minimum of 3 people about the program, and write and publish on the 3 platforms. How did you do on these commitments?
okay. Thank you for reminding me of those. Um, the book I put aside for the moment because I realized I checked out your book strategy on the Trello thing, and I realized, oh, this is a great idea. And you mentioned, and I was already thinking this about the articles. You're doing the articles, and they're going to be so. This Power of Threes is in my book. It's going to be a chapter in the, or maybe a portion of a chapter in the book. So I went there. That actually was related to the book planning.
Great.
But I thought, I've been planning this book for so long. I need to write some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's where that was. The
Nice.
talking to 3 people, I did not talk to 3 people. I talked to 2 people. Um,
Nice.
and And I realized in those conversations, I actually need to be more direct with my questions,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because and Jonathan gave me a brilliant idea that he had heard. And he was also explaining to me, and then I noticed that you were mentioning the Otter AI interface, and interviewing like on Zoom or whatever, and having Otter running, and having the transcription.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the term that he was using, I think he got it from someone else, were genius interviews. And I was thinking that's perfect. And my new lead magnet is about wisdom and finding wisdom, and uncovering your wisdom. So I'm going to call them wisdom interviews, and I'm going to schedule with these three people or whatever number I decide for this week, maybe a 10 to 20-minute interview, and give them like 5 questions or 3 questions ahead of time, and say, hey, I just want to talk to you about these questions and anything else that comes up, but kind of focus it intentionally from the beginning. And I know these people that I'm going to talk to are going to have something to say. I mean, these are not like I already kind of know what they're going to say, but I want to I want to harvest, or as Jonathan's word was, I want to mint their words in answer to my questions. So that did not happen last week. It's going to happen this week.
I like what you said, Eric, about having questions prepared to ask. I have in my notebook, which is gone somewhere, but on the back page of it, I have commercial questions. When I'm talking to somebody
Mm.
and I want to move this into a commercial conversation, I have those questions pre-scripted so that when I'm talking with somebody and it seems like, we're kind of there, I can just flip to it and refer to it and say, hey, can you engage me commercially for this piece of work? Or what do you think about exploring a coaching relationship together, or having that pre-designed so that when you want to transition into that ask, you're not also trying to figure out, oh, what am I going to say and how am I going to phrase it? Instead, you can just
Oh.
like be present because you've decided what you're going to say. So I found that very
It's
helpful.
yeah, it I mean, it's like a very smooth and elegant transition into an enrollment conversation,
Yeah, right.
but it's not an enrollment conversation. It's organic. It's been organic from what the conversation was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're talking to someone about, yeah, got it.
great.
That's Yeah. So
Great.
anyway, yeah, you wanted me to get back to the uh yeah, so I think did I answer the things from last week?
Yeah,
I
the things from last week. Finished the book planning. You made progress. That's great. Talked to a minimum of 3 people. You talked to 2. That's awesome. And write and publish on the 3 platforms. You made progress on the articles. So I think this week was a huge win for you, Eric. Congratulations.
it Thank you. It really feels like it. And I also want to just let you know that I just randomly watched, and when I say randomly, it just kind of jumped out, your live stream on the chronic fatigue, and your idea of the seasons there. It's interesting. That's been I've had a similar thought about that. And
Hmm.
yours, and watching that, it's like, oh my God. And when you mentioned that you could do this with other projects, not just the dealing with your
Yeah,
physical and physiological stuff.
you sure
Um,
can. I've got a
I'm
couple of.
realizing,
I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna recommend it to you during our conversation. And let me just show you. I'll switch cameras real quick to show you what I have over on my wall. I keep 2 of them up here, one for
oh,
finances and
nice.
one for health. And the reason why I like having both of them up here is because sometimes I come up with ideas that I can add. And so as I'm going through my day, I'm like, oh,
Mm.
I'm having a winter day today. I should really be doing this. I can go and jot it up there. And it's really helpful to have it as a dashboard.
Mm.
So I found that very useful.
Yeah, I'm really big. I've strung monofilament across my studio in several places, and I have this butcher paper, and I write big on butcher paper, and I hang them up. And every time
Great.
I walk in, I have to read, and I'm going to do that with the seasons thing,
Excellent.
because I realize for me that's going to be a way that I can minimize the distractions as well. Is if I
Good.
walk into my studio and I realize, oh, today it's da 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 da, whatever, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna be less inclined to jump off the rails and go
That's right.
someplace else.
Yeah, and having it visually
Right?
up there is really helpful. That's the third discipline of execution in the book by Dr. Stephen Covey's son, Sean Covey. He wrote this great book called The Four Disciplines of Execution. And the third is keep a compelling dashboard, something that you can look at and see, am I attaining my goals? What is it I'm supposed to do today? So that way, in a moment's notice, you can just look up there and see it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're coming
Nice.
up
I
to
did.
the end of our time together.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all good. We're going to get ready to write some commitments. I just want to review my commitments from last week were to do morning gratitude journaling 5 out of 7 days and to turn off screens at 8 p.m. And I did both of these. So this was
Oh,
a big
great.
win for me, being able to do both of these this week. And I think it's one of the reasons why I was able to overcome my my health issues is because I kept to these two. So that was very helpful. So now
I
let's
bet
write
to
our
get
commitments
this.
for this week.
Got it. Okay.
What do you want to get done this week? I'll set our timer for 3 minutes and go ahead and
Now I
write
need
them
to
in
go
the chat
back.
box.
How do I go back?
You hopped off, Eric. Go ahead and type your commitments in the chat box. Right, there we go. Great. Continue. Always a good goal. And finish is an even better goal. Yeah. What else can you do this week? That would be great. This week, I'm going to close a new client. Got a pop-in pipeline. I think I can do that. Publish 3 topic videos. New content strategy plan I'm working with. 3 different topics. Video for each topic. Get another article written. That's going to be a good one. So when you come next week, I want you to put the link of that article in the chat box. And my content goal is I'm going to get another ebook ready for publication. Ready for publication. Because I want to get my Amazon author page going. So that's what I need to do. And Tai Chi every day. That's a good one. And you know what? You've inspired me, Eric. I'm going to have something for myself that's very similar. I'm going to do Qigong every day. Because that's healing for me and it makes me feel good. So, man, this is going to be a great week. Thanks so much for spending this time with me today, Eric. I really appreciate you coming and showing up every week. It's been great. And I'll check in with you on your goals next week. Have fun out there.